Hello, I'm Todd Pownall, Post 2 Commissioner, Paulding County, and I'm coming to you today that I wanted to give you a little update on a meeting that we had last Tuesday, October 27th at 7 p.m. And first off, I'd like to thank, we had 3 citizens that spoke that evening, and I'd like to thank all 3 of the citizens for speaking, because I know that can be a tough thing to do, get up and speak in front of people and let people know what you're passionate about or what you believe in. So thank you all for speaking, and I appreciate it so much. A lot of times we'll kind of interact with the people that speak, and we'll answer some questions at the time, and sometimes we kind of hold off and we don't do anything. And that particular evening I really felt like that emotions were high, and that maybe it would be best to not say anything. And I don't like to do that, but I felt like that was the best thing to do. And come to find out, actually, that was the best thing to do. Later on that evening, we found out emotions were flying high, and at that point, a lot of times people say and do things they wish they hadn't have done. And so I'm glad that we didn't say anything that evening. However, I just thought I'd answer a few of the questions. Number one, I stand on 2 things when it comes to the commercialization of the airport. Number one, the people of Paulding County were promised no commercialization when the airport was built. When they built the General Aviation Airport, the promises were made from the elected officials, the chamber, from the airport authority, that it was going to be general aviation only, no commercial. In fact, they said if it was going to be commercial, they wouldn't even be a part of it. So that's the number one thing, is we were promised, the citizens of Paulding County were promised no commercial airport. Number 2, the way things were done. And you say, the way things were done, what do you mean? Well, things need to be out in the open when you're working with boards. Board of Commissioners, Airport Authority, IBA, they need to be done in the public for a public vote. And you don't need to be going on 2-day retreats, having meetings at 7 a.m., 8 a.m. in the morning, not informing people of the meeting, not doing the things right to where they know what's going on. When you're voting, talk about it, discuss it in the public. Don't do it with code words and code names and different things. And no head nods. We can't just sit there and nod our head and think that we have the ability to do what we want to do on our own. So it takes a board, it takes a public vote, and that's the way it should be done. A couple other things that were talked about that night in the meeting. One of them was mentioned was McCollum Airport, and everybody talks about McCollum being a great facility, and I think it is. Even our chairman of the Board of Commissioners has made that comment. Several commissioners have made that comment. And I just want you to realize this: McCollum is a general aviation only airport. They do not have a 139, which allows for commercial passenger service. They're general aviation only. They're successful, and I think we can be successful with general aviation, and I do support that. Another thing that was brought up the other night was talking about myself and the other commissioners, Crow and Collette, representing the people. And I want you to know that in Post 2, 78% of the people were against commercialization of the airport. We had an election last year, and Vernon Collette, Tony Crow, and myself won that election. We all ran on a platform of opposing the commercialization of the airport. And so I think we are all representing the people when it comes to that. Like I said, 78% of the people in Post 2 oppose it, which is where the airport's at. And about 62 to 65% countywide oppose the commercialization of the airport. And pretty much everybody I talked to is opposed by the way it was done. And I think that's about it. Another thing that was said that night was talking about the money that comes in and jobs and different things. And I want you to know this. The airport authority leased out the airport for 40 years to a company. Basically, that company is going to be giving the airport authority 2.5% of what they bring in. Right now, the county gives the airport authority $300,000 a year to support and run the airport. In order for the airport authority to achieve $300,000 a year, that company is going to have to bring in somewhere between $10 and $12 million a year. And I just don't see that happening. I don't see the research that supports that. I don't see the research that supports the jobs that they're talking about. But I think that if we work together, we can make that general aviation airport successful. At the end of the day, folks, I want you to remember this. We all live here. A lot of us work right here in the county. Our kids play ball here. We go to school together. The kids go to school. We want Paulding County to be successful, and we want Paulding County to be a great place to live and work. And you know, we're at the ballpark together, we're at churches together, we're neighbors, we're families, we're friends, and we just need to remember that although there's things we don't agree on, sometimes we need to agree that it's okay to disagree. And just remember this, that you and I working together, we can continue to make Paulding County a great place to play, a great place to work, and a great place to live. Thank you so much.